Hey guys, Rez the Collector here with a final look at the completed Earth 2 New 52 Superman custom that I've done. Now, of course, I used a Man of Steel Movie Masters figure as my base figure because the S was almost perfect on him. Um, and then he didn't have really a belt, so that allowed me to add on the Earth 2 belt. Earth 2 Superman also has cuffs on the end of his hands, so that worked out really well with the Man of Steel hand or wrist guards. Um, so overall, I was really happy with the fig I'd chosen to do the custom with. Now, if you saw my last video on him, I did do actually a lot more work on him since that video. I had originally planned on leaving him his original blue, but once I took a good look at it, I didn't like it. Um, the blue for the Man of Steel was far too dark for this version of Superman, and I really wanted him to stand out. Um, I also redid his S. The Earth 2 Superman doesn't have that little connector piece that goes up on the right side. It actually is just one straight shot down. So I ended up painting over that, and then I repainted the S completely, yellow over the gold, and then a much lighter red over the dark red S that's on that figure. Um, grab. I don't have another one on a package, but I do have one right here in package, so that we can kind of see the difference in the brightness between the two figures. See, here's the Man of Steel in package. You can see that the S is dark and almost kind of dirty looking, and then the way that it's so much brighter now on the repainted figure. Just kind of try to get them together in the shot. Just a moment. Okay, there we go. You can see through the glare. You can see it's a much darker blue. The S is a lot more muted. It's got a very dark red color, and like I said, almost dirty. And then what was normally yellow is gold on there, so I went ahead and redid that. I also gave his boots a lighter red. I gave his cape a bit of a lighter red. Basically, he was a full repaint by the time I was done, because I wasn't happy with the way he was looking. Now he's not, of course, he's not perfect now. He's now a great work of art, and he's pretty much lost all of his articulation, unfortunately. For some reason, with the Justice Lord's figure I did, he didn't really lose a lot of his articulation, but I'm afraid of him chipping, so I'm not going to move him. Him, I know he's chipping. I can already see it on him, so basically that position is the position he's going to be in. He's going to be standing up straight, and that's the end of it. Let me go ahead and get this out of the way here, now that we've looked at the comparison between the two. Back up here. Okay. Alright, now the Earth 2 Superman in the New 52, he does have, in some pictures he's got actual red on the shoulders, some of it's just his cape that's going over. I decided to go with the version with the red on the shoulders. There's also another version, you can see on his belt there, where there's that blank space there between the two sides. There's another version that he's actually got a yellow strip there, kind of reminiscent of the old belt. I decided, because most of the comics, when you're actually reading the comics, he doesn't have that yellow strip there, so I decided to go ahead and leave that out. The red cuffs on him are actually a little shorter than what I have here, but because the wrist guards on the Movie Masters went up so high, I decided to just follow those lines, and I still think it turned out pretty well. Now, on the back, the New 52 Superman actually still has a yellow S. However, the S on the back it's yellow. The S itself is yellow, and then there's no colored in middle pieces, so you can just see the red cape through that. Now, see it here. If I can get him to not fall. Okay, now the way I did this was Patience. Red S I had sitting on like a sticker sheet. It wasn't actually one of the stickers. It was just part of the top, you know, Superman, Man of Steel stickers, whatever. And an X-Acto knife. So I took the X-Acto knife, I cut the S out, and then I cut out the portions, of course, that you would be able to see through it. Two pieces I wasn't able to cut out is the pieces at the top of the right and top of the left. Those were too narrow for me to cut out without risking destroying the S. So that is actually paint. The other spots, though, the red, you're actually seeing straight through to the cape. I do like that they did keep that that yellow S with him, and I also like the way that you can see it through the symbol, and it's not just a solid yellow S with an outline. Now, for his face, I really didn't touch it at all. I did do a couple of touch-ups where I had gotten some red paint on him when I was working on the cape up near his neck, but that's about it. And he really sucks for standing. Now, I thought about going all out and doing his base as well in that lighter red with the yellow instead of the gold. But like him, I think the base would be very resistant to paint. He did not take paint really well. The blue actually went on pretty well, but like the reds, even like when I was going over reds, like when I was going over the darker red in the boots and the darker red in the cape, the figure just does not take paint well. So I decided to go ahead and leave that base as is. I mean, because it's really, I mean, it's just red and gold. It's just a little bit darker, and you know, it's gold instead of yellow. So I'm fine with that. Overall, I mean, I am happy with the finished product. Again, he's pretty much lost all articulation. Mostly he's probably going to retain leg. That's not going to matter that much. But that red on the shoulders, if I try moving his arms out at all, it rubs on that cape and it just chips the paint right off. And that just, it really sucks. I wish I could have, I mean, I suppose I could move the arms, touch him up, and then anytime I wanted to put him into a different pose, I'd have to touch him up again, which I really don't want to have to do. Hopefully DC Collectibles is going to get us a version of this Superman. I don't know why they're holding off. For some reason, in my mind, maybe it has something to do with the movies and the S being so similar. Because, I mean, the S, other than that one little notch that I paint over, the S's are pretty much identical. So I don't know why, because in 2014, they're coming out with pretty much every Earth 2 hero except for Superman. They're giving us Batman, they're giving us Flash, Green Lantern, Hawkgirl, but no Batman. I can't believe we're getting a Hawkgirl before we're getting the Earth 2 Superman. He's a figure they definitely need to put out, and I will be ecstatic to own him when they do come out, and I'd like to see what they look like side by side. Of course, that one's going to kill mine, because, again, I'm no great artist, but I am happy with the way the figure turned out. Just to take a look at him next to one of my other customs. Here is my Justice Lords custom made from the New 52 Superman. Sorry about that. And I'm really happy with him. I actually, right now, he's my favorite figure out of my entire collection. I love the way he looks. I love the way he looks in the package. I just wish I could find a way to get it look really nice and say Justice Lords instead of Justice League up top. That would be great. But overall, I mean, at the moment, he is my favorite Superman. I love the way it turned out. And I'm not like tooting my own horn. I love the costume. I've always loved the Justice Lords costume. But I was never a big fan of the body shapes of the Justice League cartoons. I didn't like the overinflated chests and the tiny little legs. So I owned one of the figures from that show, and it was a Flash. And the only reason I bought it was to get it signed by Michael Rosenbaum, the guy who voiced him at Comic-Con. So I mean, that's the only reason I have even one of those figures, because I didn't care for the design. But I loved the suit. The suit was awesome. So I'm really happy with him. Right now, like I said, he's my favorite figure. But of course, this was a review of this guy, so I'm going to go ahead and end this here. I do have another review that's going to be coming out probably today. I'll probably be filming it here in just a few minutes. And that's going to be on the Frank Miller Superman, and that noise you hear are my two dogs, who my wife just let down here and ran into my tripod. Thank you very much, dog. Alright guys, this is Rez the Collector. Thank you very much for watching. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe to the channel. I try to put out videos as often as possible, and you have a great night, or day, whatever.